What you're about to see on your screen right now is Donner Pass, California. It's in the Sierra Nevada, one of the most beautiful mountain ranges in the United States of America. But in the 1860s, it wasn't just a mountain range. It was a big problem. The mountains in Donner Pass are made up entirely of granite, one of the hardest rocks in the world. Railroad workers working at the Central Pacific Railroad Company needed to carve 6 out of the 15 total tunnels straight through granite. But why? They were making way for the Transcontinental Railroad. This was a big project. The Transcontinental Railroad would finally connect California to the rest of the nation. There were only a few ways to build railroad tracks on steep grounded mountains like this, though. Flatten the land, build curved tracks around the sides of the mountain, or they had to carve straight into them. My name is Alondra. I'm a STEM educator here at the California State Railroad Museum, located in Old Sacramento State Historic Park. Today, we're asking, how did granite find its way into Donner Pass, California? What even is granite? And how do you carve through granite to make way for a railroad? All of those questions and more will be answered today. Join me as we dig deep into the details of Donner Pass's granite, from dinosaurs to modern day. So how would you even start a huge project like this in mountains made out of solid granite? Well, you start by looking into the past. No, further back. Even further back. Yeah, right around there. Long ago, more than 200 million years ago, when dinosaurs still walked the earth, the Sierra Nevada was still deep underground in the form of a hot soup. Hot melted rock called magma pushed up from far below the Earth's surface. Some of it even pushed past the Earth's surface, creating volcanoes. Most of this magma cooled underneath the Earth's surface to form rocks like granite. Over millions of years, layers of softer rocks that formed above the granite were lifted up from underground. They were broken down by earthquakes and worn away by rivers, creeks, glaciers, and ice. Think of it like using a pencil eraser. These layers wore down, and as the top layers of rock wore down, the bottom layer of granite was exposed to the Earth's surface. This huge layer of granite is called the Sierra Nevada batholith. Railroad workers faced this giant batholith when building the Transcontinental Railroad. Let's take a look at some basic facts about this fascinating rock. Number 1, granite is a rock. There are many rocks that look like granite. Those are called granitic rocks. According to the geologic map of the North Lake Tahoe Donner Pass region, there are at least 3 different types of granite in the Donner Pass area. Granodiorite, monzodiorite, tonalite of Lake Mary. For this video, I will refer to all of them as granite. Number 2, granite is very hard to scratch or cut into. How do we know? The Mohs hardness scale measures how hard a rock is compared to other rocks. Granite ranks in at a 7. That means it can scratch glass and even steel. The softest rock is talc at a 1 out of 10. It crumbles like chalk and is very soft. But our hardest rock is diamond at a 10 out of 10. It is so hard that it is used to coat saw blades to cut into other rocks. Number 3, granite is a rock made out of minerals. Think of a rock as a puzzle. The minerals are the individual puzzle pieces, and the rock is the entire completed puzzle. Minerals are the backbone of granite in Donner Pass. Let's zoom in even closer to each mineral inside the granite around Donner Pass. The 4 most common minerals are quartz, feldspar, biotite, and hornblende. Quartz is one of the most common minerals in granite. It's often gray, white, or clear with a glossy surface. It's hard and brittle, and when it breaks, it creates small, sharp, dangerous pieces. The second mineral is feldspar. Feldspar can appear as a white or light gray type, or a pinkish orange type. The light gray type is more common in Donner Pass. This rock breaks into small chunks with flat faces. The third mineral is biotite. Biotite is a dark, greenish-black mineral with a glossy surface. It can look solid from the outside, but it splits into thin sheets very easily, like slices of cheese in a big stack. The fourth mineral is hornblende. Hornblende can look nearly exactly like biotite, but it is much harder. It forms long, skinny crystals. Hornblende and biotite together make the dark speckles in granite. They can also be joined by other dark minerals in smaller amounts. Look at how different each mineral is. Quartz, feldspar, biotite, and hornblende are all important pieces in the puzzle that makes up granite. Let's take a look at how people planned to build a railroad through a mountain range filled with granite. Building the Transcontinental Railroad through the Sierra Nevada began with surveys of the land. A survey is a map or a measurement of the surface of the Earth. Theodore Judah was a civil engineer who created surveys of 3 routes for the Transcontinental Railroad between 1860 and 1861. Using handheld tools, he measured mountains and valleys, observed weather and rocks, and explored many areas to plan the best route for the railroad. The Central Pacific Railroad Company was created to build the western half of the Transcontinental Railroad, hire workers, and handle all of the business behind the project. Many methods were used to build tracks on these steep mountains. Workers flattened out the ground to make paths less steep. They built curved tracks around the mountains, and they carved tunnels through the solid granite. Theodore Judah's surveys help railroad workers find the best tools and supplies to build the Transcontinental Railroad through and around the granite. The Central Pacific Railroad Company hired Chinese workers to help build the Transcontinental Railroad. They worked very long hours in teams of 2 to 3 people. They used giant rods called star drills to carve holes into the granite. One worker would hold the drill while 1 to 2 others would strike the drill with hammers. The first worker would then twist the drill 1/4 of a turn after each strike. Afterwards, workers placed black powder in the holes and set them on fire. This would cause an explosion that would shatter the granite into smaller bits. Then those bits could be shoveled or carried away. This would be the workers' only task for 8 hours a day, sometimes even longer. One of the hardest jobs was carving Summit Tunnel number 6, the longest tunnel at Donner Pass. It's 1,659 feet long. That's the length of 5 football fields. Workers carved from both ends of the tunnel. They also carved a shaft in the middle of the tunnel and worked towards each end. To make carving go by faster, nitroglycerin was also used to explode the granite. The work was slow, difficult, and dangerous, but the workers kept going every day for 14 months to build Summit Tunnel number 6. Today, carving through mountains is done using drilling machines, controlled explosives, and high-tech mapping tools. But the basic skills are still the same. When planning a railroad, engineers still rely on surveying the land, studying the rock properties, and working smart. Well, there's your deep dive into granite. We learned that granite started off as hot magma deep underneath the surface of the Earth. We learned that granite is made up of various different minerals like feldspar, biotite, hornblende, and quartz. We learned that surveys from people like Theodore Judah helped the railroad workers plan a railroad through Donner Pass. And we learned the tools and skills and hard work needed to build the Transcontinental Railroad. Tunnels weren't just built around the granite mountains in Donner Pass, they were built through them, and every tunnel tells a story written in stone. If you liked today's episode of STEAMPowered, please consider checking out the rest of our YouTube channel for amazing educational content, including lectures, podcasts, and more. My name's been Alondra, this has been STEAMPowered, and I challenge you to power up in the comments today by answering this question. What is your favorite rock? And what does it look like?